For centuries, a secret science of the mind has been hidden in plain sight, an ancient knowledge so powerful that it can completely transform your life. It can awaken your consciousness and free you from everything that holds you back. This is Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra, not just a book, but a manual for human awakening, a collection of 112 forgotten techniques designed to rewire your brain, to dissolve fear, to unlock a state of pure awareness. These are not rituals, not religious dogma. This is raw, scientific, mind-altering knowledge. Modern neuroscience confirms what this text has known for thousands of years. Your breath, your senses, your thoughts, they are the gateways to rewiring your mind. They help you break free from suffering. They lead you to a state of enlightenment. These techniques can be practiced anywhere by anyone. No need to escape to a monastery. Your daily life becomes your laboratory of transformation. Friends, imagine waking up one day and realizing that everything that ever troubled you was just a shadow, an illusion created by your mind. Imagine stepping beyond it. This is what Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra offers. A way to break the cycle, to master your mind, to awaken to a reality beyond fear, beyond confusion, beyond limits. So, are you ready to unlock the truth? To destroy every illusion and see life as it really is? So, without wasting time, let's begin. What if your breath could open a doorway into the divine? In a world ruled by noise, distraction, anxiety, and overthinking, we often feel lost in the chaos. Imagine that just one silent pause, something happening right now in your body, has the power to shift your entire reality. Welcome to the Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra, the most powerful ancient guide to inner awakening. Friends, this is not mysticism. This is tantric physics. Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra is made of three words: Vigyaan, Bhairava, and Tantra. Here, Vigyaan means inner science or direct experiential knowledge. Bhairav refers to the supreme, formless, and fearless state of consciousness, and Tantra means technique or method. So the whole phrase means the science of techniques to experience the ultimate state of consciousness. It is a profound scripture rooted in the philosophy of Kashmir Shaivism. It presents a sacred dialogue between Lord Shiva, the embodiment of ultimate consciousness, and goddess Parvati, the divine feminine energy. In this text, Parvati humbly asks Shiva to reveal the essence of meditation, the nature of reality, and the path to liberation. In response, Shiva, as the supreme awareness, unveils 112 transformative techniques of meditation, offering direct paths to self-realization. So here is the original Sanskrit verse or sutra from Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra. Swasasya swasanam madhye nirodham chanmatrayam vichintiyet tan nirodhe nirvikalpam maheshwaram. And it translates to, between the incoming and outgoing breath, there is a brief pause. Contemplate on that pause. In that stillness, the Supreme reveals Himself, which is free of all thoughts. Friends, let me tell you, now even neuroscience is starting to see the truth in this. When you pay attention to your breath, especially the pause between inhale and exhale, your brain waves begin to shift. They move from beta state, which represents active thinking, to the alpha state, a calm and clear state of mind. This alpha state is where anxiety drops, creativity rises, and emotional regulation improves. With deeper practice, some even touch theta, the realm of intuition, memory, and healing. The pause is not just empty space, it's a reset point for your nervous system. And in psychology, it is called the gap moment, where habits can be broken, responses can be rewired, and conscious choice returns. And if you are into quantum theory, this gap is like the space between particles, the silence between musical notes, the emptiness that holds all potential. Now, let me share something deeply personal with you. Not just a theory, but something I have actually practiced, felt, and lived through in real moment to moment awareness. Friends, this was not my first time trying this technique. I had practiced it before, multiple times in silence, so when I sat down recently to do it again, it came naturally, without much struggle or confusion. But every time I return to it, it feels fresh, deep, and profoundly revealing. Here is what I have come to understand through my own experience. Most of us tend to believe that inhalation and exhalation are two separate actions, but they are not. They are part of one continuous rhythm, like the rising and falling of a wave. But the real magic? It doesn't lie in the inhale or exhale. It lies in the stillness between them. That tiny moment when inhale turns into exhale and exhale turns into inhale. These turning points I have discovered are sacred. They are not just silent pauses, they are doorways into stillness. And this stillness, it is not dead or passive, it feels alive, conscious, and incredibly powerful. Through repeated observation of my breath, I realized something unexpected. These two turning points are the most mysterious yet the most powerful parts of the breath. But catching them is not easy. That tiny gap, it's so subtle, so brief, it slips by unnoticed. I remember sitting for long stretches, breathing mindfully and still missing that sacred pause. I struggled with this too many times until one day something clicked. A simple inner image came to me, and that changed everything. It's something that no one will tell you, and it's really powerful. It helped me immensely. I began to imagine the breath as a circle with 4 points. Inhale at the top, pause on the right, exhale at the bottom, and the second pause on the left. And my awareness moved slowly clockwise, gently like a soft breeze around this circle, this sacred wheel. That day, I turned my breath into 4-point meditative journey, and here is how I practiced it. Point 1. Inhale, the rise. I began by inhaling slowly, effortlessly. I didn't try to control it, just felt the cool air entering through my nostrils, my chest rising, my belly expanding. My full attention was flowing through the breath, not watching it from a distance, but riding it like a wave from within. It felt like life entering me. Point 2. First pause, the first turning point. As the inhale completed, there was a subtle moment, a still point, like the peak of a wave just before it breaks. Here, nothing was moving, not in, not out. Time almost stopped. This was the first turning point, a moment of stillness that felt almost sacred. I didn't force it. I didn't hold it unnaturally. I just rested in it, as if I was floating in midair, wings spread, not moving, and then something strange happened. I began to feel a soft expansion, as if I was dissolving into space, as if the breather was gone and only breath awareness remained. Point 3. Exhale, the release. Then the breath began to fall. I let it go gently, no pushing, no control. It felt like a soft leaf drifting down from a tree. With it, my body softened. The tension melted. This was the returning tide, the body letting go of what it no longer needed. Again, I was not doing anything. I was just witnessing, allowing, being with it. And finally, the point 4. Second pause, the second turning point. At the end of that exhale, something even more subtle appeared. A deeper stillness. No breath in the body, no breath coming in yet, just a vast open emptiness. But it was not scary or cold. It was peaceful, pure, a presence beyond thought. This was the second turning point, even quieter than the first. I stayed there just for a heartbeat, not rushing, not anticipating the next inhale. And in that silence, I touched something, something beyond breath, beyond body, just being. Then the cycle began again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each breath became a doorway, each pause a window into silence. And slowly, the breath was no longer just a physical process. It had become a meditative spiral. I wasn't chasing thoughts anymore. I was not trying to force stillness. I was just riding the wave of breath, something I already had, into a space that felt eternal. You don't need to force this. You don't need to believe in anything. You don't need any spiritual background, just awareness. The breath will take you there if you are gentle, if you are present, if you simply notice the pause. Friends, let me offer you an interesting physics analogy of pendulum motion. It will help your logical and scientific mind in grasping the concept more easily and clearly. Imagine your mind is a swinging pendulum. Inhale and exhale are the movements. But here is the secret. The power doesn't lie in the movement itself. It lies in the turning points, the precise instants where one direction ends and another begins. These are the two extreme points of the pendulum where it has the maximum potential energy stored. Now imagine this pendulum swinging left to right. You know, the pendulum has the maximum kinetic energy at the center, so it moves fastest at the center. But at the two extreme ends, it pauses for a brief magical moment before changing direction. That's exactly what your breath does. At the peak of your inhale, there is a moment of stillness. The breath is full yet unmoving. At the end of your exhale, there is another. The body is empty yet waiting. These are the true turning points, the silent extremes. This is where stillness hides, not in the middle of movement, but at the edge of change. And in that silence, you glimpse your true nature. And now, here is your challenge. For the next 24 hours, become aware of that sacred pause, while walking, while working, while in traffic, or lying in bed. Don't change your breath. Just notice that tiny moment between inhale and exhale. That pause, even for half a second, can shift your entire mental state. Friends, there exists a presence so subtle, so silent that no one notices it, yet it holds everything. Your body, your breath, your memories, and this entire cosmos. You have never touched it, yet it touches everything. You have never heard it, yet it is the canvas upon which every sound dances. You have never seen it, and still it surrounds you endlessly. That presence is space. And in the second technique of Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra, Lord Shiva, the Supreme Consciousness, doesn't talk about worship, rituals, or philosophies. He reveals a secret that opens the veil of illusion and dissolves your limited self into the infinite. So let's begin with the ancient Sanskrit sutra. व्योम विलीनम आत्मानं ध्यायेत् त्यजतः कला ततः परम ज्ञानम निराकारम प्रजायते. And here is its translation. Contemplate yourself as merging into the vast space. Let all perceptions fall away. As forms dissolve, the formless truth, a knowledge beyond all knowledge, arises. This is not poetry. This is not metaphor. This is a precise doorway. To walk through it, you must leave behind everything that is not real, like your name, your thoughts, and your roles. Because everything you believe yourself to be is just surface, and space is the abyss beneath the surface, eternal, pure, untouched. Let me take you there. Now pause and think. When was the last time you felt space? Not the objects in the room, not the body, not your thoughts, but the actual, silent, invisible space surrounding you, holding everything, without judgment, without noise. That space is the gateway. And now science begins to echo the same truth. In physics, we know that atoms, the building blocks of your body, your phone, this world, are 99.99999% empty space. So essentially, you are made of space pretending to be solid. Even neuroscience says that spaciousness reduces cognitive load. When we perceive open space, the brain relaxes. This is why we feel peace in open skies, mountain tops, or stargazing at night. Space heals, space expands, space liberates. Now, let me share my own deeply personal experience of practicing this second technique of Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra, one that changed how I saw reality. Friends, it was the quiet night. No phone, no noise, just me and awareness. I sat down and closed my eyes with this sutra in mind. Imagine yourself as a point dissolving into vast infinite space. I stopped trying to concentrate and let my attention become soft, open, wide. And then I began to feel the air around me, not by touch, but by awareness. I imagined the space in front of me, behind me, above, below, left, and right. And slowly, after some time, something began to shift. It was as if my body was not sitting in space anymore. It was space itself. The boundaries of my skin began to dissolve. The feeling of me as a body or mind started melting. I was no longer an object inside the room. I was the awareness of the entire room and beyond. I wasn't in a space, I had become the space. Friends, this awareness had no edges, no shape, no size, only a gentle presence, infinite, silent, and alive. And in that moment, I got the glimpse of pure and supreme consciousness. I understood in this verse, Lord Shiva was not asking us to think about space, he was pointing to something more powerful, becoming space. Friends, now let me break down this technique of Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra for you, just like I experienced it in 4 gentle steps. Step 1. Sit in stillness, eyes closed. Find a quiet spot, sit or lie down. Close your eyes. Don't try to meditate. Just relax. Let your breath be natural. Feel the weight of your body and then gently let go of that focus. Step 2. Sense the space around you. Now, begin to imagine the space in front of your face. Then feel the space behind you, above your head, below your feet, left and right. Don't force it. Just sense it. Imagine you are floating in the endless sky. And now comes step 3. Drop the body and become a point of awareness. Now shift your attention inward. Imagine you are just a single point of awareness. No body, no shape, just a dot of presence floating in the infinite space. And now even let that point dissolve. You are not the point anymore. You are the space itself now. And finally, the last, fourth step. Let go of all boundaries. Don't try to hold on to the feeling. Let go. Surrender. Feel yourself as infinite, borderless awareness. No thoughts, no labels, just pure being. And in that moment, the sense of I as a person fades. What remains is Shiva, the ultimate, the supreme consciousness, the silent witness, the ever-present sky, the formless one watching all forms. And now let me offer you a simple yet powerful scientific analogy to help you ground this experience. Imagine space as the screen and thoughts as the moving images. Like in a cinema hall, we often get lost in the story on the screen. We cry, laugh, get scared, but forget one thing. The screen is untouched always. You are not the thoughts, you are the space in which thoughts appear and disappear. Just like the sky doesn't care about the clouds, you are the sky of consciousness. Now, let's look at this space through the eyes of modern physics. Friends, we assume space is empty, a silent backdrop, but quantum field theory reveals a deeper truth. Even the most perfect vacuum is not truly empty. It's alive with subtle vibrations, a quantum field teeming with energy and possibility. Particles appear and vanish like ripples on an unseen ocean. This field, this silent presence, is the birthplace of all matter, light, and movement. So, when you meditate on the space, not just physical space, but the felt sense of vast openness, you are tuning into the very source of reality. The same mysterious field from which galaxies are born is also what you touch in still awareness. Tantra calls this Shiva, the supreme consciousness, not a deity, but the boundless field of consciousness itself. You are not separate from it. You are it, the silent, watching awareness behind all creation. Friends, let me tell you, this is not imagination. This is experiential science. This is Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra. And now, your challenge. For the next 24 hours, try this. Wherever you are, pause and feel the space around you. Not the walls, not the noise, just space. While walking, while waiting, even during a conversation, momentarily become aware of the empty space behind the words. It's always there, and it's always silent. That space is the divine, watching patiently, waiting for you to notice. Friends, if you are truly seeking not just answers, but the ultimate truth, and a direct taste of self-realization, then don't even think about skipping this video. Because what you are about to discover is not just any meditation. It is one of the most powerful techniques out of the 112 given by Lord Shiva in the Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra. A method so direct, so transformative, it can open a hidden gateway within you, right here between your eyebrows. No shape, no sound, no weight. Yet, mystics for thousands of years have called it a gateway to intuition, to silence, and to the supreme. This is the third eye, and through the third eye technique, Shiva doesn't guide you outward. He takes you inward, straight into the core of your consciousness. So stay with me, because missing this might just mean missing the doorway to your true self. So let's begin with the original Sanskrit verse. भ्रूण्यन्तरे दृष्टिं संचारयेत् क्षणं क्षणं तत्र लीनमनः कृत्वा नैव चिन्त्यं न चिन्तनम्. And it translates to, gently direct your attention to the space between the eyebrows, again and again. Let your mind become absorbed there. Then drop all thoughts, even the thought of thinking. This is not just instruction. This is inner alchemy. Because the space between the eyebrows is not just anatomy, it is an energetic portal, the doorway to the third eye, the command center of intuition, insight, and higher knowing. But here is the key. You don't open this door with effort. You open it by becoming still. Let me guide you there. Let's begin with a simple truth. Friends, in your whole body, there is one spot that sees, even when the eyes are closed. It's not your brain, not your senses. It's the inner eye, the third eye. Think about it. When you imagine something, where do you see it? Not in your stomach, not in your legs, but right here between your eyebrows. This spot is the projector of all inner images, visualizations, dreams, and even your sense of I. It is your inner screen, and this screen, when stilled, becomes a mirror reflecting the infinite. Now let's zoom in through science. Right behind the spot between your eyebrows lies the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision making, focus, and self-awareness. It's also one of the most developed parts of the human brain, especially in spiritual seekers, monks, meditators, and mystics. MRI scans show that focused attention between the eyebrows increases neural activity in this region, creating a calm, clear, and deeply aware state. So, when Lord Shiva says focus between the eyebrows, he is not asking you to believe in something. He is asking you to align your biology with awareness. Friends, now let me share my deep personal experience. It was early morning. The world was still dark. I sat cross-legged, lit a soft candle far away, not to stare at, but to remind me of the light within. I gently closed my eyes and brought my attention not to the breath, not to the body, but to that subtle space between the eyebrows. Not with force, not with strain, just a gentle awareness. I didn't try to visualize anything. I didn't chant. I didn't imagine gods. I just stayed there, present, still. At first, nothing happened. But then, after a few minutes, I had subtle experience. It felt like a magnetic pull inward. Thoughts began to slow down and a deep silence started blooming. And it was not empty, it was alive. There was no image, no thought, no effort, just a glowing, steady presence in that space. It felt like the eye behind all eyes had opened. I understood then the third eye is not about seeing visions, it's about becoming aware of the one who sees, the silent observer, the pure presence that is consciousness itself. Friends, now let me break this technique into 4 gentle steps just like I practiced it. Step 1. First of all, find a comfortable place. Sit upright but relaxed. Close your eyes softly. Don't try to focus. Just be at ease. Feel your breath and let your body settle. Step 2. Gently bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows. Don't press your eyes, don't strain. Just feel that area softly. You can imagine a tiny point of light or just feel the energy there. Keep your attention there like holding a feather in the air, not a rock. And now, step 3. Let thoughts come and go, but stay in the center. Thoughts may arise. Let them. Don't chase, don't resist. But again and again, bring your awareness back to that space between your eyebrows, even for a moment. 1 second of pure attention here is more powerful than hours of forced concentration elsewhere. And finally, the step 4. Drop even the technique and fall into silence. Friends, as your awareness deepens, you may feel a soft glow, a pull, or just a vast stillness. Now, drop all effort. Let go of doing. Even let go of I am meditating. Just rest in that center. Actually, in that moment, thinking dissolves. The meditator dissolves, and what remains is pure awareness. Friends, here is a powerful analogy to help you ground this experience. Imagine your thoughts as a stormy sky. Most of us live in the clouds, always moving, reacting, drifting. But when you bring awareness to the third eye, it's like rising above the clouds into the clear sky. You still see the weather below, but it doesn't touch you. You become the witness, the silent observer, like a lighthouse unmoved by the waves it watches. And here is something for scientific minds. Friends, neuroscience says that this is meta-awareness, the ability to step back and observe your own mind. This is the skill behind emotional intelligence, deep insight, and spiritual awakening. And the third eye is its seat. When you activate this center, your brainwave patterns shift to alpha and theta. You become more creative, intuitive, and calm. It's no wonder that ancient yogis called it the command center, the Ajna chakra or the Agya chakra. Not because it controls others, but because it gives you control over your own inner chaos. So, what is really happening when you focus here? You are withdrawing energy from the outer world, like senses, distractions, and noise, and drawing it into the center of perception. This reverses the usual flow of awareness from outward to inward. And when that happens, the illusion begins to fade. You begin to see not with eyes, but with awareness itself. Friends, now here is your challenge for today. For the next 24 hours, try this simple yet powerful practice. Whenever you remember, pause, even for 10 seconds. Close your eyes or even with open eyes and gently feel the space between your eyebrows. You can try it in the middle of a conversation, at a traffic signal, or even while brushing your teeth. Just return to that center. No strain, no effort. Let your awareness touch that sacred space again and again. Each time you do, a little fog lifts. Each time you return, the eye behind the eyes awakens, and slowly you will begin to live not as a person but as presence. If you have ever felt disconnected from yourself, if you have longed for unconditional love, peace, and connection, then this doorway is for you. Friends, our heart holds secrets the mind can never understand. No philosophy, no imagination, but a direct, raw, and undeniable experience of pure consciousness. Today, we enter the fourth doorway given by Lord Shiva in the Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra. A method so simple yet so profound, it doesn't ask you to climb a mountain, fast for 40 days, or chant for hours. It only asks you to sit quietly and feel your heart. Not the one that beats, but the one that knows. Because deep in the center of your chest lies a sacred fire, always burning, always silent, always watching. And if you can place your awareness there, even for a few seconds, something ancient begins to awaken, something eternal. Because what you are about to hear today could dissolve every wall you have ever built and reconnect you to everything. Let's begin with the original Sanskrit verse from the Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra. Hridaye chittam niliya tatraiv lagna paro bhavet. And its translation is, let your awareness merge into the heart center. Rest deeply in that space, and the Supreme shall reveal itself. Friends, this is not poetry. This is a precise map, a method to dissolve the small self into the vast. Most people think of the heart only as a symbol of love, but ancient yogis saw it as the source of direct knowing, a deep intelligence that lives beneath thought. Here is a simple truth: the mind thinks, but the heart knows. Let's talk science for a moment. Modern research confirms something astonishing. The heart has its own nervous system, its own intelligence. Scientists call it the heart brain. It sends more signals to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. And when you focus here, your brain waves harmonize, your body relaxes, your awareness expands. So, when Shiva asks us to place attention in the heart, he is not asking for sentiment. He is inviting us to experience coherence, unity, and deep clarity. Let's break down this technique into four simple steps. Step 1: find a quiet space. Sit comfortably, breathe gently, let go of outer distractions. Step 2: now place your attention in the middle of your chest. Feel your heartbeat, not to analyze, not to visualize, just feel. You may imagine a soft glow or simply sense the space. Step 3: let thoughts pass like clouds. Stay with the sensation of presence. Stay anchored there even for a few seconds. And finally, the step 4: let yourself melt into that space. No effort, no technique, just rest. Let the small self dissolve into the vast ocean of the heart. And now, here is a powerful analogy. Imagine the heart as a deep well. The mind is the surface, noisy, disturbed. But as you drop into the heart, you go beneath the waves, into still waters, into truth. In that silence, there is no judgment, no separation, only presence. And from this presence arises compassion without effort, clarity without struggle, and connection without words. Friends, here is your challenge for the day. At any moment today, pause. Place your attention in the center of your chest. Feel your heartbeat, even if only for 5 seconds. Each time you do, the noise fades and love awakens. This is the power of the fourth doorway, awareness of the heart. Have you ever truly listened? Not just heard, but listened deeply to the hum of a fan, the rhythm of your breath, the beat of your heart. We are always chasing silence, but Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra reveals sound is the door to silence. Instead of fighting noise, enter it, become it. Here is the original verse. Shabdasya shabdatameti na shabdam tattvamuchyate shabd brahmani nishabdam chintayet paramarthatah. It translates to the essence of sound leads to soundlessness. True reality is beyond sound. Meditate on that silent source behind all sound and realize the ultimate truth. Close your eyes. Let the sound of your breath or the ticking of a clock fill your entire awareness. No judgment, no trying to stop it. Just listening completely. At first, there is sound. Then something shifts. You begin to feel the stillness within the sound. You begin to disappear, and all that remains is silence. Alive, breathing, infinite. This is not concentration. This is absorption. When the listener and the sound melt into one, the ego dissolves. Friends, in that moment, you are not the body, not the mind. You are the silence behind all sounds, the void where all creation begins. You can practice this in traffic, while walking, and even while someone speaks. Just listen fully. The sound will carry you to the soundless, to the divine. And here is challenge for you. Pick one sound like breath, heartbeat, or a bird, or even street noise. Close your eyes, let it be your guide. Follow it to its source and watch your separate self vanish. Because the truth is not in escaping the world, but merging with it, even through sound. Have you ever stopped to watch your thoughts? Not control them, not judge them, just watch, as if you are watching clouds drift across the sky. Most of us live inside our thoughts, but Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra reveals your mind is not you. You are the witness behind the mind. And here is the original Sanskrit verse. Yatra yatra manoyati bahirva abhyantaram tatha tatra tatra shivavastham mano medhyam vibhaviyet. And its translation is, wherever the mind travels, whether outward or inward, in every direction, realize the state of Shiva, which is the supreme, the pure consciousness. Witness the mind itself and perceive the divine. Let's try this powerful practice. First of all, close your eyes. Let the thoughts come one by one. Don't chase them. Don't push them away. Just observe, like a silent mountain watching the wind. At first, thoughts swirl, memories, plans, emotions, but then there is a subtle gap, a pause, a space between two thoughts. That space is not empty, it is alive, it is pure awareness. And in that gap, you are no longer the thinker. You become the witness. untouched, unmoved, eternal. This is not thinking about the mind. This is watching the mind as if it is someone else. No need to struggle. The more you watch, the more you realize. Friends, you are the sky, not the weather. You can try this while reading, during a conversation, or even when you are lost in thoughts. Just snap out for a moment and observe. No effort, just awareness. And here is a challenge for you today. Set a timer of 5 minutes. Sit quietly. Don't stop your thoughts, just watch them pass. Look for space between them and stay there. Because you are not your thoughts. You are the still, vast sky in which they come and go. That sky is Shiva, the supreme consciousness. That stillness is the truth. Do you feel your body when it moves? Not in pain, not when you fall, but in ordinary moments like lifting a cup or turning your head. We live like disembodied minds, dragging a body along for the ride. But Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra whispers the body is not a cage, it's a doorway. Let's see the original Sanskrit words. Sharirasya kriyayam tu dhyanam sampratya sthitam ichchaya kriyaya yukto nirvikalpas tada bhavet. Let's see its translation. By becoming fully aware of bodily movements, voluntary or involuntary, one enters a state beyond thoughts and rests in pure consciousness. Friends, now we will try this transformative, powerful practice. Feel the way your shoulders lift, the way your foot strikes the ground, the blink of your eye, the way your chest rises when you breathe. Notice it, feeling it from within. You suddenly realize there is an intelligence in your body, a rhythm, a presence. This is not exercise. This is embodiment. When awareness enters the body, you no longer feel separate from it. You are movement. You are life. In this dance of muscles, joints, and breath, the mind falls away. There is no future, no past, only now, only presence. And here is your challenge for today. As you walk, eat, or stretch, bring your full attention to the movement. Feel the textures, the weight, the flow, and notice the sacred pulse of life moving through you. Because your body is not a machine, it is the temple of awareness. Every movement, a prayer. Hello, my dear spiritual seekers. I have explored many techniques from the Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra. All 112 are profound, but there is one that shook me to my core. One that didn't just change my mind, it liberated my soul. It is this: contemplation on death. Yes, meditating on your own death. Sounds dark? Maybe, but in truth, it's the most powerful, honest, and freeing practice I have ever known. Friends, what if I told you that you are dying right now? Yes, as you watch this, cells in your body are aging. Breath is leaving, time is passing, and every passing moment is a moment closer to your death. Scary? That's exactly why this technique exists. From the Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra, Technique 8, Contemplation on Death. Friends, it doesn't ask you to fear death. It invites you to look at it directly, bravely, spiritually. And here is the original verse in Sanskrit. Yavat bhavanu pashyetu mrityum tavan nivaryet bhava bhav vivekena Swabhavam Samupetitat. And here is the translation. By deeply contemplating the nature of death and impermanence, one dissolves the illusion of life and death and realizes the eternal essence, one's true self beyond all coming and going. Here, the Tantra doesn't say escape death, it says observe death, and you will awaken to what can never die. Friends, the body is temporary, the mind is temporary. Your name, your roles, your possessions all will vanish. But something remains, and that something is you. Not the you that was born, but the unborn, undying witness. Let's try this strange but one of the most powerful meditation. First of all, sit silently. Imagine your own death. See your body lying still. The world going on without you. Take some time to feel it deeply. Feel how your loved ones are crying, but life doesn't stop without you. Feel it. The silence after your final breath. Not to panic, but to pierce the illusion that you are the body. Because once you see that you are not this temporary shell, a massive shift happens. You stop clinging, you stop fearing, and in that space, life becomes real. Friends, after this realization, you hug deeper, you laugh truer, you let go faster. Why? Because nothing is permanent. Friends, even modern psychology calls this mortality salience. When people are reminded of death, they begin to live more authentically, more generously, more in alignment with their soul. Have you ever thought why some monks meditate in graveyards? Why did Buddha meditate under a tree after seeing a dead body? Because death wakes you up in a way nothing else can. So now follow what I say. Close your eyes, visualize your death. Let go of your name, your face, your body. Watch it all dissolve. Then ask, who is watching this death? Who remains after death? Believe me, my dear seekers, that answer is the key to everything. It is freedom. And here is a challenge for you. Write your own eulogy. If you died today, what would they say? Now flip it. What do you want them to say? What is your wish? Go live that version of yourself. Because one day that final breath will come. But if you have lived fully, deeply, consciously, you won't fear it. You will smile. Because death, dear friends, is not the end. It is just the veil before the eternal reveals itself. So contemplate on death and you will meet your immortal self. That's not philosophy, that's liberation. I know, just by seeing the title, some of you might feel awkward, some might judge, some might even think, why is a spiritual channel talking about sex? But stay with me because what I am about to share is not about lust. It's not about entertainment and it's definitely not something cheap or shameful. In fact, it is sacred, it is rare, and it's deeply spiritual. Yes, in our society, talking about sex openly is still considered a taboo. It's seen as dirty, private, something to be hidden in whispers. But the ancient seers of Tantra saw it differently. They didn't suppress it, they honored it. They turned it into a path to God. That is what this is about. not sex as an act, but as a doorway to awaken the divine within. My dear spiritual seekers, I am not here to corrupt your mind. I am here to cleanse the misunderstanding, to bring light to what has been buried in shadows. Because spirituality is not about avoiding the truth, it's about facing it completely, courageously, consciously. Do you know why this technique is so powerful? Because when sexual energy is used unconsciously, it becomes addiction. But when used consciously, it becomes awakening. Your root chakra activates, Kundalini stirs, and you begin to move up from animal instinct to angelic insight. That's the journey from sex to samadhi. Here is a thought that can change your life. You are not the body seeking pleasure. You are consciousness experiencing union to remember your own infinity. Friends, sexual energy, when used with deep awareness, can transform you, not into a sinner, but into a saint. This is what the Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra reveals. And today I am going to share that sacred wisdom with you. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and come with me into one of the most misunderstood yet most powerful spiritual techniques of all time. This is the technique of union as liberation. Here is the original Sanskrit verse. विज्ञानेन स्वदेहे अंतः शक्ति संयोग लक्षणे प्रवेशे अतिलयम याति तदा तन्मयताम व्रजेत. And here is its translation. When the seeker with total awareness enters into the experience of inner or outer union with Shakti and becomes utterly absorbed, he or she dissolves into the beloved, into the infinite. Friends, this is not sex for the sake of pleasure. This is yoga, which means union. This is samadhi, total absorption. And it requires presence so intense that even a single touch becomes a universe. A single breath shared becomes God. And here is how it works. In unconscious sex, two people meet, but only bodies touch. But in this tantric practice, two souls meet in silence. Breath becomes synchronized, thoughts vanish, the outer disappears, and what is left is God watching God. Dear friends, here is the actual practice as described in the sacred and powerful Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra. Sit with your beloved, fully present, eyes open. Gaze into each other's eyes without talking. Begin breathing together. Inhale and exhale as one. Let the bodies touch, not for stimulation, but for connection. As union begins, stay completely aware of breath, of sensation, of emotion, of energy. Do not chase climax. Instead, let the energy rise and ride it like a wave. If climax happens, let it dissolve into silence. And in that silence, in that stillness, witness who remains. Now, I will tell you what happens in this practice. You will begin to feel something extraordinary. The body begins to disappear. Pleasure becomes stillness. Thought becomes silence. Ego dissolves because you as you vanish. And what is left is not male or female, not lover or beloved, but pure awareness. That is the divine. That is you beyond form. Modern science shows that during deep sexual connection, oxytocin floods your brain, building trust and spiritual bonding. Theta brainwaves increase, same as in deep meditation. Identity softens, time disappears, and you enter a trance state where altered consciousness arises. Friends, in ancient times, they called this ecstatic union. So now here is a challenge for you. Tonight or in your next moment of intimacy, practice stillness, practice awareness. Don't rush, don't perform, just be. Feel every breath, feel every touch, witness every sensation, and allow yourself to disappear completely. That is the true climax, the ego dissolving into light. Friends, now some of my viewers may ask, how can I practice this? I am not in any such relationship. No problem, friends. Begin this journey within. Visualize the union of your inner masculine and feminine, the Shiva and Shakti within you. Meditate on their embrace, and you will feel it, that divine warmth, that sacred pulse, and that oneness without even touching another. Dear seekers, let me tell you, sex is not dirty, it's divine. If you bring your soul into it, it becomes a portal to enlightenment, not above you, not outside you, but within your very being. That is the gift of Tantra, and that is liberation. Friends, when was the last time you truly touched something? Not with your hands, but with your entire being. We sip tea, feel the breeze, hold our children's hand. Yet the miracle of touch passes us by unnoticed. Our soul remains untouched. But the Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra whispers a secret. In the experience of pure touch, the divine reveals itself. And here is the original Sanskrit verse from Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra. स्पर्शे स्पर्शानुबन्धिन्या क्रियया योगिनां प्रियं स्पर्शे प्रियतमाभावं सम्पश्यन् vyajyate param. And it translates to, when the sensation of touch is fully embraced, when even the subtlest contact is honored with presence, the deepest affection is unveiled, and through it the supreme is revealed. Let's try this beautiful yet powerful meditation of divine touch with me. First of all, close your eyes. Place your hand gently on your chest, over your heart. Now feel your hand is touching the chest, but at the same time, your chest is feeling the hand. Wow, you are at both places simultaneously. You are the one who touches and also the one being touched. There is no boundary, no skin, no this is me and that is not. The division collapses. There is only one continuous field of awareness where the hand and the heart meet as one. And in that mysterious space where duality dissolves, a sacred silence emerges, a taste of the absolute. What began as a simple touch becomes a doorway to the divine. Now let's try this one also. Touch anything, like a flower, your skin, the bark of a tree, or the breath on your lips. But this time, don't just touch it, be it. Feel both sides of the experience, the one who touches and the one who is touched. Let that union melt you, because in one sincere moment of presence, touch stops being a sensation and starts being a revelation. And here is a powerful statement. Try to feel it. You are not touching the world. The universe is touching itself through you. Don't get lost in words, feel it. Give it some time. If you could sense the depth of even this statement, you are free, liberated. Let this sacred touch awaken the forgotten divine in your body. Let it dissolve the illusion of separation. Let it remind you, you are not outside existence, you are existence, meeting itself through sensation. Thank you for watching. See you in the next technique of Vigyaan Bhairav Tantra. Till then, bye bye. Take care.